Hello and welcome, BitMonger family. Jay here. Hope you guys are all doing well today. We are experiencing a nice dip in the markets today. It actually fell off a cliff, but we still have reason to be extremely bullish on Bitcoin, guys, and crypto for that matter. There was some news that came out this week that was just amazing. We have the SEC absolutely embracing crypto, opening it up for all these entrepreneurs and corporates to come back to the United States to develop crypto. I mean, people are really missing this, and it is going to be something massive going forward, guys. I really think most people have no idea how big this is going to be, and they are missing it. But there is going to be volatility. There's no doubt about it. As we know, as I showed you guys the other day, markets were, traditional markets were hitting tops. It was getting frothy. We have been in greed now for over a month, and that's got to come down. Things get overheated and they pull back. So let's take a quick look at what I was talking about just a second ago here. So we can see about this SEC. It debuts Project Crypto to bring U.S. financial markets on chain. And this is where I think Solana and Coinbase are going to be the two main benefactors when it comes to this. So we want to keep an eye on this. And what blows my mind is that we actually have, CNBC, Bloomberg, all of these major outlets, focusing on crypto. It wasn't that long ago. I can remember clearly when they were all poo-pooing it, making fun of it, laughing at it, all being very skeptical. And now they are, they're embracing it. So this is very positive, guys. Very, very positive. I mean, here's one. How's this? JP Morgan teams up with Coinbase, delighting crypto investors. JP Morgan, once a Bitcoin skeptic. Jamie Dimon. I mean, he was just shitting on crypto and Bitcoin for the longest time. And now look at this, they're teaming up. This is bullish, guys. This is very, very bullish. So you need to filter. You got to filter through the noise. And you need to be looking at this from a long-term perspective. I'll tell you one thing. The difference between people that make money and the guys that usually lose money, or the guys that are successful in investing and the guys that don't do well, is long-term perspective. Looking at the long-term view. So you want to get into the habit of looking at the long-term. And you need to be buying the fear. I mean, let's take a look at this, guys. We can see right here, looking at this. Here we are. We were in massive greed for quite a while. Over a month we were in greed. So this is expected to come down. And usually, generally, you want to buy when there is fear in the markets. That's how you make money. I forget who said it, but, be fearful when people are greedy and be greedy when people are fearful. That is something that you need to be considering, and that's how you should be investing to win. Okay. Now, why are the markets dumping? Well, here we have this. Okay. We can see that Trump imposes massive amount of new reciprocal tariffs, including the following. I mean, he just went and he just slammed all of these. This is giving it's causing the markets to dump. I don't think that it's going to probably cause it to dump as much as it did when he initially came out with Liberation Day, but I do expect it to come down due to this. Here's another thing, and this one's kind of odd, and this is really showing that the data is really fucked up. But check this out. This is insane. We must receive some massive downward job revisions. May's jobs report was revised down from 125,000, from 144,000 to 19,000. What the fuck? You know, how could they be so wrong? June's jobs report was revised down from 133,000, from 147,000 to 14,000. That's 258,000 jobs that just vanished from the data in 2 months. Okay? Now, recently in the Fed, it looked like they were not going to be dropping rates. And I think because of this, I think there's a possibility we might be getting some job rate, the interest rate cuts coming in September. But we'll see. But this is going to make them reconsider everything. I mean, if this doesn't improve, this could get really bad. Inflation was on the rise, and then we have this. This leads to potentially stagflation, which is a scary phenomenon, guys. So, also, I want to take a look at, where was that? It was this one. All right. So, this is why you guys need to be thinking and looking at Bitcoin. Now, just listen to what this kid has to say. This is Jack Mallers, really smart kid. I've talked about him before. They opened up 21 corporate. They're a Bitcoin treasury company, and they're also going to be doing financials with it. But let's just listen to what he has to say here. He has got some insightful points. Listen to this.
Do you envision a future where Bitcoin treasury companies such as Strategy, Mara, and you guys end up buying so much Bitcoin that there really isn't actually much left out there on the open market for people to trade? After all, it is a fixed number of Bitcoin, so no more will be created once it reaches that number.
Right. You know what's fascinating about the asset, and it's not intuitive because it's so rare, is that, to your point, it is definitively scarce. So if everyone in the world wanted an iPhone, Apple could make more. If everyone in the world wanted a McDonald's cheeseburger, McDonald's could make more. The fact that Bitcoin cannot increase its supply means the new supply comes from the market. If you want more Bitcoin, you don't go to the Bitcoin factory to get one. You have to go up in price. Is there enough Bitcoin for me at 120,000? No. Okay, 130, 140, 150. So I tell you what, there's always Bitcoin available. Just depends on what you're willing to pay for it. And so what I think will happen is this price will continue to discover higher because Bitcoin is the scarcest thing. It's inelastic to the amount of demand that searches for it. So the amount of buying power that we're seeing from the capital markets, from the ETFs, and potentially from nation states like the United States, I think they'll find the supply they're looking for. They're just going to have to go get it at a higher price.
Would you expand to other digital coins, for instance, become a treasury company for Ether or Solana or something else?
Absolutely not. And I'll tell you guys why. I made you laugh.
Yeah, because you guys are all maxis. Like, you talk to somebody who has an Ether treasury company, and they'd say the same thing about Bitcoin.
Yeah, so
you can't mix the two ever?
Well, little history lesson. The term maxi was actually invented by Vitalik Buterin. It was a diss. It was slander. You know, I now take it as a compliment. But to be clear, I don't self-prescribe that. Background on my opinion, okay? Us humans own a little over $900 trillion worth of stuff. Currencies, sovereign debt, real estate, precious metals, fine art, all of the things that we collectively own as a species. About half of that, so call it $400 to $500 trillion worth of it, we're using to save money, right? You own the $10 million art painting not to put on your wall so your toddler can throw spaghetti at it and ruin it. You own it because you want to sell it for $11 million in the future. You own the real estate not to consume it because you're living in it, but because you're trying to save and build a real estate portfolio. So that the amount of wealth humans have created that they want to bring with them tomorrow and save into the future is about $400 to $500 trillion. To me, that's what Bitcoin's going after. It's that pristine store of value. It's that pure money. right? What is Ethereum? What is Dogecoin? What is Solana? To me, I don't know. At best, a technology. Are these things going after Apple, Amazon? If they are, let's go out and give Ethereum credit that I don't think it deserves and say it's going to achieve what Amazon has achieved. Okay, $2 trillion, $3 trillion worth of value to society. Reasonable, nice, a new cool tech stock. And that's if they go on to achieve that. If Bitcoin goes on to achieve a small fraction of the $400 to $500 trillion that humans are looking to bring with them tomorrow, we're talking about tens of trillions of dollars of appreciation. So it's in orders of magnitude larger problem Bitcoin's going after. It's in orders of magnitude sounder bedrock to build a treasury. I do not want to build a treasury on potentially the next Amazon. I want to build a treasury on the new gold, on the new sovereign debt, on the new currency, on the new dollar. So that, for me, our shareholders should know I will never own another asset outside Bitcoin.
So Bitcoin Pure.
All right, so there you have it. If that doesn't motivate you to buy Bitcoin, I don't know what does. Now, he does, talk kind of poorly about Solana and Ethereum. And I can slightly, I do agree with them on a certain level. However, if Solana does become the financial layer of the internet, I believe that it could have massive upside. Now, just so you guys know, when I take profits, I put it into Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is the big daddy. That is where I like to put my money when I make money on my altcoins, and that's what I do with my trading of altcoins is I slide it over into Bitcoin. All right, so there you have it, guys. Real good reasons on why you need to be considering Bitcoin. And let's take a quick look at the Bitcoin market. We can see that it did come down. It's at 113.7. It did actually wick down, and it just dropped below 113K earlier. And it's pulling back. I had noted that this would be a really good place to be buying it at like around 113K. Now, if that were to drop, if it does bust through 113K later next week as the markets get rattled, the next place that I could see it coming down to would be like around 100, right where it broke out here. You could see where it this is where it actually broke out from before it went on that rally up to 123K. So, it could come back down here and test it. If it breaks through that, then we're looking at the golden pocket right around here at about 109,000. And then, potentially it could come all the way back down and get down to here like around 105, low 100s. That would not be odd, guys. In a bull market, Bitcoin and crypto, they have massive rips and then they have corrections. It's par for the course. You have to accept the volatility. Don't get shaken out. Keep your eye on the prize and try to stack it, okay? Try to stack it. Buy when there's fear, preferably. One other thing I want to take a note on, and is look at Coinbase. Coinbase absolutely fell off a freaking cliff. I would be looking to get it. Look at that. It dropped almost 17% in a single day. Considering this news here, we can see that it's bullish as hell. I would be looking to enter Coinbase. Now, this is a good area. It's got a halfway retracement down here. If it gets down to about 304, the golden pocket's right here at 276. So if it gets down to this zone, guys, 274, 276, I would be looking to add to your position if you don't have a position yet. All right, guys, there you have it. Hope you're all doing well, and monger on.